Hello, Capricorn. This is Angel Aura Divination, and I'm here to give the sign of Capricorn their end of June 2021 general tarot and oracle reading. That was very difficult to get through. Mercury retrograde has been kicking my butt. I also think, though, that it's very astrological, like a lot of my own communication problems, because I've been having a lot of them as we shifted into the Cancer season. Mercury retrograde has been going on. Saturn retrograde is going on. We also have the full moon is coming up this week. When I'm actually recording this, it's the strawberry moon of 2021. Yeah, and I'm a Saturn ruled person, actually. Not like a whole lot, but I do have some placements that are indicative of a big effect of Saturn in my own life. Oh yeah, I have Aries Saturn, and that's like I have a fire, whatever. I'm not an astrology person almost at all. I like astrology. I like reading about my horoscope and stuff. That's kind of how I started a lot of my spiritual path. But I'm not an astrology person. I'm barely an astrology enthusiast, let alone an astrologer. So don't get me started on talking about that stuff. Anyway, Capricorn, I'm using the Energy Oracle. I'm also using the Sacred Destiny Oracle, and I'm using the Universal Tarot as well. Though all these decks are linked into the collective reading, and the collective reading would be good for you to listen to if you are feeling a lot of these energetic shifts that we go through with astrology, because I want to be using those collective readings to kind of give you an overall idea of the energies that we would be experiencing through these shifts. I might start making those readings more about astrology as much as I'm making them about like spirituality and like the esoteric side of energy. So we'll see that happen in the future, I'm sure. But anyway, let's just get into your reading, because I already have your oracle cards out now that I've been shuffling them. The first card out that we have is the third chakra archangel Chamuel, which is a 37 reducing down to a 10, being about the beginning of a new cycle, but also about the openness of the possibility of a new cycle beginning for you, but because it also ultimately reduces down to a 1, and the 1 is also always about individuality. It's about potential, and it's about new beginnings. The Sacred Destiny Oracle card that we have out for you is openness, and I've been pushed to actually just read that for you. So maybe right now you need to open up your solar plexus chakra. I was going to say sacral plexus. So this might be related to your sacral as well, but I think that was really just because I was just doing the Sagittarius reading and they needed a lot of work in their sacral through their spiritual journey. There's a lot of things that they just need to do to release that energy. You, however, need to open up your solar plexus a little bit more. I think ultimately this is kind of reflecting your need or ability to express your identity, or even things that, because like the third chakra, the solar plexus, is very much about your self-expression. It's also about my guides are saying expansion. You really need to focus on expanding the way that you express yourself, or being more open with it. I think also, though, that because the way that it's kind of being expressed to me through the cards, it's really more about like that relationship to the self. It's about self-love, it's about connecting to self, and it's about ascending beyond the labels that you have on or around your own personal identity as well, because that's really where the sense of identity sits in the body, is through the third chakra, right? I have a chakra like centers card here. I'm just gonna look through it really fast. It says something about willpower, purpose. It's also kind of where you store a lot of energy. It's located right in the center of your abdomen. And we have the moon here. This is a sun and a moon kind of thing for you, Capricorn. So this might be related to some of your personal aspects in your birth chart as well with the sun and the moon. Maybe you have some kind of aspects that really kind of prevent you from expressing yourself. I suggest looking into that, especially in the Vedic astrology, my guys are saying, but not necessarily. The openness card is also about opening up to the possibilities of deeper spirituality. This card has a lot of constellations on it as well, and the constellations have always been a big part of the way that humans understand spirit and their own connection to the universe, because we have kind of personified the stars in the sky to be different things, and we associate those energies that they give to us as different ideas and topics that we've ultimately created into our own sense of spirituality over the course of humanity. And you can see that if you do any of your spiritual work, you'll start to notice that a lot of the myths that people believe in, or the peoples that really observed and worked with the constellations, are related to the constellations. For example, Ursa Major. There's a lot around Ursa Major, and even with astrology, a lot of the astrological concepts are based on the stories that people put onto the constellations themselves, or that they associated with the shapes that they saw in the constellations. And some of that even has to do, my guides are even saying that this might be related to a relationship to Hellenistic astrology, as opposed to something like Vedic astrology, which is a completely different school of thought. You might be interested in all of those things or none of those things, but that might help you. They said it might even help you in career. I think they're just trying to incentivize it, so you should really look into that, Capricorn. Let's get some tarot cards out for it. Yup. Okay. So talking about astrology, you're also talking about the way you identify. It'll help you work with yourself through your spiritual journey with the Eight of Pentacles here, to understand what it is that can be offered spiritually, or what you can offer others when it comes to spirituality or spiritual topics. It doesn't mean that you're going to be a deeply spiritual person, but the Page of Cups can talk about something being offered through understanding spirituality and being a resource to you. So it's saying that you need to, like astrology, okay, I don't know why this is what we're going on about right now, but astrology is a resource to help you understand yourself, so that you can understand your limitations and also where you need to challenge yourself moving forward in your life. It can be a resource, or it can be a hindrance. A lot of people use it as a hindrance, but you can use it as a resource in this energy, Capricorn. That's what I have to say. And that's what's being expressed through the tarot. Let's get some more cards out about that. Or also about the self-expression energy that you're going through. Why is the third chakra out for Capricorn? Yeah, you might need help manifesting. You also might be connecting to like a lot of solar energy, as well as like cosmic energy in general. Okay, that's all they're giving me. I dropped a card on the floor, and now I don't even see it. Oh, here it is. The first card out that we have is the Two of Swords. I feel like you've been feeling kind of at a lack when it comes to connecting your mind to your identity, or connecting your head and your heart too. Possibly because of a heartbreak situation, or situations in the past that have left you very devastated, or even emotionally disconnected, as they're saying to me right now, with the Five of Cups being about that heartbreak. What are they saying? I had the word despondency due to relations not working out the way you want them to. But the Five of Cups talks about a need to change your perspective. And the Two of Swords talks about a need to be creative when it comes to the mindset. And then we have the Queen of Wands here, Capricorn. And this is kind of talking about your relationship to spirituality, or possibly even to your higher guidance in the spiritual context. I also think that this has to do with the things that you're manifesting through the actions that you're taking. And you will start to realize that you have much more to offer others if you study astrology, or even if you just look into your own birth chart analysis. This is kind of a call to action for you to do that. But in a more mundane aspect, I think that a lot of self-mastery will start to begin for you when you start to look at spirituality as something that you can use to your benefit, as opposed to something that you can kind of fight with, combat for a lot of your life moving forward. It's kind of like you have the opportunity or the option to make it something that is going to be a hindrance, or you have the opportunity to make it into a resource. It doesn't mean that you have to be into deep spirituality, or be an occultist, or be a priest or a high priestess, or anything like that. It just means that knowing that spirituality is an option for you can make it into a resource moving forward. The next card out that we have from the Energy Oracle is Victory, which is a 28, also reducing down to a 10. 10 being about those new beginnings and that potential moving forward in that energy, also being about the individual self and how you've expanded beyond the first idea of your own potential. The next card out that we have, funny enough, it's Potential. This is that cosmic energy that you're connecting to, I think, and this is actually saying exactly what I was saying. That cosmic energy that you're connecting to is going to lead you to understand the resource that spirituality can be for you in your life. And you know, a lot of this might be through you listening to tarot readings, but also it's through understanding the use of spiritual tools, things like the beliefs that people have about crystals, and even the things that people have about food, they're saying, even the things that beliefs that people have about incense and herbs, and all these other things that are just grown on this earth, and how we can utilize those things to create better lives for ourselves, or even just more stability in our mental and spiritual lives that ultimately leads and kind of bleeds into other aspects of life. for many of us. The potential card is also saying that there's much to be built due to spiritual and also esoteric grounding. This could also be you seeing the possibility of that expansion moving forward and really connecting to the idea of what could be and really making that happen for yourself, which is interesting. The victory card to me is also an indication that you do have a lot of abundance around you and you can create more of it through gratitude or also just through expressing the desire for more through your relationship to the universe. So that would call for praying and that would call for manifestation and meditation. But that's really up to you how to make that happen. I think a lot of it can be about who you want to be moving forward and how you want to bring that into action. And so really and also I kind of see you making a plan in this energy. So you might be feeling called to make a plan, but you also already might be making a plan. The first tarot card that we have out is the Ten of Swords. So you're going to be coming out of this overthinking. I think a lot of this has to do with what I was already talking about. Let's get some more cards out though. The Ten of Swords is kind of the end of overthinking. It's the end of a cycle where there might have even been betrayal in relationships as well. So if you are in this heartbreak, despondent energy about relationships that you've been through as well, whether they're work relationships, spiritual relationships, or even a relationship to spirituality or a relationship to work or otherwise, you're going to be coming out of that with the Ten of Swords here. The next card that we have is the Wheel of Fortune. You're going to be coming into a new phase of positivity for yourself, especially in the spiritual realm. It's like that's what's being highlighted for you right now in this reading. And a lot of it's also going to be through spiritual study. You might even be opening up to the Akashic Records with this energy. The Wheel of Fortune also kind of speaks about that abundance that's created through allowing cycles and situations that you've been in to either end or to begin based on what the universe wants instead of controlling it so much. The next two cards that we have out is the King of Cups and the Knight of Wands. So you could have a fire placement or a water placement, but really I kind of see this as you either way, where you are kind of coming into that self-mastery about how you express your emotions too. Possibly even the way that you express your anger is what they were kind of saying to me with the King of Cups. And with the Knight of Wands, that might really help you in the career front to where you're going to really, they're saying move light years ahead, because of the fact that you've kind of learned how to deal with yourself. So there might even be a lot of shadow aspects that are being confronted in this energy for you as well, Capricorn. And when we have the Six of Wands, the Six of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune both came out next to each other in the Sagittarius reading, but they're the kind of representation of a similar idea of moving into positivity and cycles. The Six of Wands just being a representation of moving out of the negativity into the positive, and the Wheel of Fortune being a representation of the cycles that are being created in that positive energy, where you're going to be reaching a new idea and even a new understanding of what abundance is due to your spiritual or higher connection to that reward, I guess. The next card that we have out is Door to Personal Healing and Happiness. This is a 34 reducing to a 7. 7 being that divine number, that lucky number for many of us. 7 also being about intellect, mysticism, philosophy, secret rhythms of life. But it also can be about dreams, your passions, and even illusions and intuition. I think that you're kind of opening yourself up to a new possibility with the door to personal healing and happiness here. Even opening yourself up to the possibility of having a peaceful life, or of transforming your life moving forward into focusing on peaceful existence and happiness and abundance for yourself, as opposed to being so focused on the material realm. Abundance can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. I think that your relationship to abundance might even be changing moving forward. And the next card out that we have from the Sacred Destiny Oracle is Wonders. So you might be able to really even do that work with crystals or working with the cosmos, because all these Sacred Destiny cards are very cosmic for you. So that's kind of also another allusion to astrology and different concepts around astrology. I think that that's really going to help you. But the thing about astrology is that astrology also gets you into mysticism and mythology a little bit. And it's kind of like once you go down that road, it's kind of like there's a lot. Astrology is a gateway drug to deeper spirituality for a lot of people, especially with this new age movement that's been going on. A lot of people are trying to use astrology to branch off into different aspects of their own spirituality. I know that I've done that a little bit, although that's not exactly how I started my own journey. But the Wonders card is also kind of saying that you might even be using crystals in the future, or understanding that there is abundance created through the use of the spiritual tools that you're given from the universe. It's like these things were created and put on this earth, and we were also put on this earth, and now we're trying to not use them or not utilize them. For what reason? Like, if it's a tool and it's presented to you, why wouldn't you use it? If it's not going to hurt anybody, why wouldn't you use it? And maybe that's the thing that you're also going through right now, where you're starting to understand that maybe these things that you're opening up to are not actually going to hurt anybody, and maybe that's a new belief for you. The first card that we have out from the tarot that came out individually is the Six of Pentacles. It's talking about balance. It's talking about balancing out the way that you give to other people, or your relationship with different aspects of your own life, they're saying, where it's kind of like you're giving yourself to your spirituality, or you're giving yourself to your career, or you're giving yourself to, you know, possibly a relationship with new people. This could even be you understanding your relationship with your children more, or understanding your relationships in your childhood a little bit more as well, going through that childhood healing as well. We have a couple of cards that came out, so let's just get through them. We have the Queen of Cups coming out first. The Queen of Cups and the King of Cups are here, so you might be going through a soulmate journey here, or just having a deeper spiritual connection with another like-minded individual. But the Queen of Cups is also an indication to me of spiritual protection as well, or possibly a mastery when it comes to the spiritual topics, to the effect that it causes spiritual protection for you, because you start to understand that you're not necessarily always as vulnerable as you might be, which in itself means that you don't believe in all the spiritual attacks or things that are coming to you, but as well, it's also you being spiritually protected by the universe or by your guides, possibly by even acknowledging them. We have the Eight of Wands coming out for you as well, saying that this is going to allow you to make better decisions moving forward, because it's going to free up some of your mental space so that you can manifest in your own energy by taking action, instead of being so focused on what's going to hurt you by being vulnerable. The next two cards that we have out are the Moon and the Lovers. So this is a deeper indication of a soulmate relationship coming through. So maybe you're putting more effort into these emotional relationships that you want in your life, and a lot of this is coming at the verge of you also going through this dark night of the soul energy, with the moon being here, where certain things are going to be illuminated to you, or possibly that you're going to be going through some journeys that might feel like you're in the dark, but are ultimately going to be leading you to the light. The light being a representation of this Lover's energy, where you're going to be starting to make better decisions for yourself. Ultimately, all four of these cards, the Eight of Wands and the Lovers, talk about making really good decisions for yourself, making better choices, and also moving very quickly towards things that you're guided to have. The Moon and this is the Moon, and you might even be having a High Priestess moment, whatever that means for you. And then the Moon and the Queen of Cups here is kind of like understanding that deep spirituality and that deep emotionalness that you could be having right now in your own journey, if you allowed yourself to be vulnerable with yourself, or possibly even with other people around you. So let's get one energy oracle card out for some advice, and then we'll be out of here, Capricorn. This reading has been pretty simple. I think ultimately this reading is kind of opening you up to some things. We have Deceit, and we also have the first chakra, Archangel Michael. So this is a 25 reducing to a 7 and a 35 reducing to an 8. Here are the cards. A lot of this is about root chakra energy. A lot of it. There's a lot of red in this Deceit card, and the Archangel Michael is about the first chakra, which is also about the root chakra. I think that you might have somebody around you who's kind of fooled you or deceived you in what spirituality could be for you, or possibly even somebody around you who's kind of leading you down a path that has kind of negatively affected you in some way, possibly even disconnecting you from the root chakra, and that your guides are here to help you be connected more so to your root chakra. I also think, though, that you might have been going through some personal self-deceit about your own experience and what it is that you believed, or what it is that you wanted to believe in, as opposed to what it is that you actually felt. Your guides are kind of pushing you to really ground yourself in the reality that you exist in, meaning that you do not need to question your beliefs when it comes to your own spirituality. And that's not what I'm even calling you to do through this reading. But that you do need to understand that the reality that you perceive is the reality that you exist in. So if you believe that spirituality is going to be a tool for you, it will be. But if you think that somebody's out to get you, or you think that, you know, it's all mumbo jumbo, it's all based on your own belief of that, that's going to create those paradigms within your own existence. You do not need to force yourself to do anything or to be anything or to create anything or to have anything. But ultimately, like I said, spirituality is just a tool. Spiritual teaching is just a tool. Spiritual tools are just tools. And tools are supposed to help you. We are creatures who exist on this planet that use tools. We've created a lot of tools for ourselves, even in the mind. And using them moving forward is either going to benefit you or it's going to hold you back. And it's up to you to make that decision. So hopefully this resonated for you, Capricorn. Leave a like and a comment if it did. I would also love it if you subscribed, if you like these readings. Find me on my other social media. Leave a star emoji in the comments if you got to this point in the reading. And I will see you in your next reading as well, Capricorn. Goodbye.